The next of our topic, it includes the scale, then the distance and calculation of the area. Now the first one we'll take up over here, that is the scale. Let us define what a scale is. Now a scale, it is the essential element of all the types of the map, and it is defined as the relationship between the map and the whole or a part of the earth's surface. So it is a ratio between the distance measured on the map and the corresponding distance on the surface connecting two different points and represented by the same unit. So this is how the scale it is defined. Now what are the type of the scales? In a grid map there are always three kind of the scales that are present. The first one is the ratio scale that we see over here, 1:50,000. Then towards our right hand side we have the verbal scale that tells us that 2 centimeters of the area that is measured on the map is equal to 1 kilometer on the ground. And then we have the linear or the graphical scale, where the graphically representation of the kilometers and meters it has been done. So 1:50,000, it means that 1 unit on the map, it represents the distance of 50,000 units on the ground. Now this scale is also known by the name of the universal scale because it can be converted into any of the unit that has been asked. Now the second one, that is the statement of the scale, where the grid reading it has been directly given to us. It is telling us directly that 2 centimeters, that is 1 grid square, is equal to, its ground value is equal to 1 kilometer. Then we have the linear or the graphical scale. It shows directly the measurement of the 7 kilometers, which is drawn to 2 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer. So these are the representations of various kind of the scale on the grid map. Let us now see how to measure the distance. Now to measure the distance, there are two kind of the distance that exist on the map. One, that is the direct distance. The another one, that is the indirect distance. Now the direct distance is the one that we measure with the help of a scale or a paper, and the indirect is the one that we take the help of a thread to measure the distance between any two places. So let us see how it is done. So if you want to measure the direct distance, what you're going to do, you're going to take a scale or a piece of a paper, and then you have to identify the two objects, place A or place B or whatever the object that is given, and then you have to keep the paper over there. From the center of both A and B, you will have two of the points. Then simply take the scale and measure the distance in centimeters, because you will be getting either in the centimeter or inches. So take it in centimeters. Half of the centimeter will be your answer in kilometers. Okay, so this is how we measure the direct distance. For the indirect distance, we have to take the help of the thread or a twine. Now this is the 20 centimeters of the thread that you will get along with your question paper during the examination. And this is how it would look, and then you would have to take the reading on the thread and later on measure it on the scale. Now what you have to do, first of all, say if you read the question very properly. If the question reading, it says moving along the cart track, find the distance between place A and B. The word moving along. So that is your indication that you have to use the thread. Otherwise, scale would only do. So when you get the thread, put on the starting mark on there. So that will be your 0. Alright. When you put a mark on the thread. Now as your road, the section of the car track or the metal track or the path of the river or the path of the dry stream, whatever you have been asked. Okay, so as it would twist and it would turn, the same way you would have to twist and turn your thread. And when you come to end, then put a mark on it again. See, in this manner, you have to measure the distance between A and B moving along the car track. So from point A, that is your starting point, you keep on twisting the thread till the time you reach towards point B. Alright, then you put one more mark again. Now you have got 2 points, point A and point B. Measure it on the scale. See what is the centimeter reading that now you are getting it on the scale. Now after you have got your centimeter reading, keeping the twine accurate, keeping the thread completely straight, then a half of it will give you your reading in kilometers. Alright, so this is how we measure the direct as well as the indirect distance. Next of the concept, that is the measuring area. Alright, now for this what we have to do, the easting reading and the northing reading, it would be given to us. Like say for example, easting reading is 0, 2 and 0, 5 and northing reading is 11 and 13. So first of the step is to put the circle on these numbers. Identify the numbers in the grid sheet, put a circle. The second step is wherever these numbers, they are meeting with one another. Alright, you put a mark over there. Then you will have the enclosed space. Alright, now our scale, it says that 2 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer. Area is length into breadth. So what is the length over here? 2. And what is the breadth over here? 3. So area is equal to 6 square kilometers. Let us go through one more example from the grid sheet itself. Now the easting reading is 17 to 20 and northing reading is 16 to 19. So identify both of the points where all these coordinates, where all these numbers, they would meet with each other. Put an identification mark, join up those marks, and then you have got the enclosed space. Now scale is 2 centimeters to 1 kilometer. Area is equal to length into breadth. Now what is the length? Count down the number of the squares, 1, 2 and 3. And what is the breadth? Again count down the number of the squares, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 into 3 is equal to 9 square kilometers. I hope you have understood the concepts.